Hi friends, it's very dark. 1 second. It's still pretty dark. Hold up. Since I filmed something earlier today, my video settings are kind of all fucked up. Okay, that's a little bit more closer to how it normally is. Hello, John. Let me turn this down. Because I feel like I'm yelling. How is everyone? Welcome in. So I know I'm starting late. I was recording the podcast with Kate, and we also had a special guest, Kieran, on. That podcast episode will be coming out in the next few weeks. But that's why I'm starting late, because I had people here and we were recording. But still, we're going to do our stream tonight. And every year I do this. I kind of go over it a little bit. Last year... In the past, I've just done the whole stream on its own. Last year, I just did a video on its own. This year, I'm going to do a stream and a video kind of going over it. So I recorded the video today, so I have everything like here already. But we can go over it. But a video game and movie discs from a PS5. Ooh, what'd you get? As you can see, the dogs are in here because I have meat and cheese with me as well. I brought my little charcuterie board in. Hi, Inari. Yeah, she wants cheese. Yeah. But every year, I make a goal list of the things that I want to accomplish that year, and then every year I go over what the goals I had the previous year were, and like, you know, did I hit them? Did I not? What could I improve on? What could I... What did I do really well? So I'll go over, and on the back of them, I have the stats, all my social media stats on the back of each piece too, throughout the year. So I have 2021... 2022, 2023, and now I have my 2024 goals. And I like keeping them all together just to see how much has changed. And so 2021 is when I started streaming. Excuse me. And when I started doing like content creation stuff. Ooh. We're gonna get... I gotta play this. There we go. It was playing not copyright-free music. Forrest Gump, Brave, and Happy Gilmore. Nice! I like Forrest Gump a lot. Forrest Gump is a good movie. But I'm gonna kind of go over stats I've had over the past few years. If people have questions about stuff, absolutely ask them. That's kind of what the stream is for, is helping people set goals, talking about different things, how to do different things. Not a professional, but this is just something that I've done every year for a while. But 2021 is when I really started doing it a lot more seriously, because like I said, that's when I started doing content creation, and that's kind of when I was like, you know, this is what I want to do with my life. That was when I got fired. That was shortly after I got fired. So I made my first one in February, and that was that the year I got fired? No, it wasn't. The end of 2021 was the year I got fired. So when I made this goal sheet, I still had my full-time job, but that was when I knew that I wanted to start taking streaming more seriously. So I made this in February of 2021, and I got fired in December of 2021, and I obviously did not see that coming. But yeah, I'm gonna go over my stats a little bit first, and then I'll talk about the goals I had last year, which ones I hit, and then that was RJ. And then I'll talk about what I wrote for my 2024 goals. I apologize if I can't wait to hear your goals. So the first one I made in 2021, again, I'm just going to go over these stats, and there will be a YouTube video out that will have all this listed out and a little bit more organized. So if you missed stuff tonight, don't worry about it. But February 4th, 2021, these were the different statistics I had on social media. I had 2,436 followers on Instagram, I had 19 followers on Twitch, and I had 0 on YouTube. And on Twitter, I had 646 followers. So those were my statistics from 2021. At the end, yeah, I had 19 followers on Twitch at the beginning of 2021. Isn't that kind of crazy? That's why I like going through this and like going back and seeing like how much has changed. That's 2 years. Almost 3 years, because this was February of 2021. And so then at the end of 2021, and when I was setting my goals for 2022, yeah, now I'm at 700 plus. So from February to December, I had 2,933 followers on Instagram. On Twitch, I went from 19 to 254. On YouTube, I went from 0 to 61. And then on Twitter, I went from 646 to 3,620. And I hit Twitch affiliate on August 27th of 2021. So it was in the summer of 2021 that I started taking streaming a lot more seriously. When I first started streaming, I actually had to use RJ's setup at first because we lived in our apartment and he had a computer and a PC for playing games, and I started doing art streams was what I originally started doing. So I downloaded Adobe Illustrator on his computer and I would do streams on his computer, and that was all I had. So I didn't even have my own PC setup or anything. But I believe my goal in 2021 was to get my own, so my goal in 2021 was to get my own streaming setup, and I did. And that was when we bought a house and I was able to make this office my space. So I got my own setup. So that was my goal for 2021, and I did that. And so, yeah, I went from 19 followers on Twitch to 254. Okay. So then, in the year of 2022, Instagram, I had 2,920. So I actually over the past few years, I've dropped Instagram followers, which I don't really care that much. But I went from 254 on Twitch in 2021 to the end of 2022, I had 595. So again, I pretty much doubled my Twitch following in 1 year. YouTube, I went from 61. This is 1 year's difference. Okay, so in 1 year, I went from 0 to 61, and then 1,396 subs and 969 watch hours. So that was about a year ago, because I did this on December 27th of 2022. So that was literally almost exactly a year ago. So from the end of 2021 to the end of 2022, I went from 61 subs on YouTube to 1,396, and I was not even at 1,000 watch hours yet. Twitter, I had 3,651 followers, and TikTok, I had just started doing, I had 365. So I hadn't been recording that in the past, but I started recording that. So that was a year ago. So that was last year's numbers. So on YouTube, I went from, again, 61 subscribers to 1,396. Again, that's crazy to me to have that kind of growth. And you guys have heard me a lot of times get really discouraged about stuff, and that's another reason why I like making these, because it puts into perspective how much happens in just 1 year. So here's last year compared to this year. This year, as of today, I'm at 2,828 Instagram followers. Twitch, I'm at 764. So a year ago, I was at 595, and now I'm at 764. YouTube, I went from 1,396 subs to 2,707 subs since I last checked. It might have gone up or down one since I made this video earlier. But yeah. So I went from about 1,400 subs to now we're almost at 3,000, which is crazy. And this time last year, I was at 969 watch hours, and now I'm monetized. So in a year, we went from less than 1,000 to hitting 4,000, even though I had watch hours expire. And now I'm monetized. So that's, again, the span of 1 year. These are literally 365 days apart. On Twitter, I have 3,404 followers, and I actually dropped like 200, but I've been unfollowing a lot of people that I don't really want to follow anymore. So I'm sure I've also been losing followers too. And on TikTok, I went from 365 to 532. So a lot has happened over the course of just a year. And again, that's why I like doing this stuff, because it's cool to look back and see what has actually happened. So 2 years ago, I had no YouTube subscribers, and now I'm monetized. Again, I think that's pretty cool. Not to toot my own horn, but beep beep. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go over the goals that I set in 2023. I'll tell you guys what I hit, what I didn't hit, why I probably didn't hit them. It's not necessarily a bad thing that I didn't hit them, but, you know. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Jonathan. I got meat stuck in my teeth from my prosciutto. Okay. So, if you guys have never watched my goal setting video, I don't know if the thing is going to let me even, like, show this to you guys, because it's so fucking bright. No, it's not. You'll have to go and watch the video, because I'll have a picture posted of how this is set up. But basically in the top, I have the year and the goal. It says, like, so, like, 2023 goals is on the top, or 2024. And then I split it into 4 quadrants. I have my circle of 5. I have life goals, fitness goals, and social media. Those don't have to be your quadrants. If you want to do this and do something similar, those are just what's important to me. You don't even need to have 4 things. You can have 1 or 2. Like, it's okay if you want to do something like this. You don't have to do it the exact same way I do it. But if you do want to do something similar, you can kind of follow my pattern if you want to, or get ideas from what I'm going to be talking about. Also, hello, Crescents. So, in the top left quadrant, I have the circle of 5. So, the circle of 5 is the 5 people that you talk to most often. The reason this is important is because you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And so, it's important to be aware of who you are spending time with. You don't want to be spending time with the wrong people, because they're going to influence you. So I always write down who those top 5 people are, because it is important to spend your time with good people, because they will influence you. And I think it's kind of great that my circle of 5 is, for the last 3 years, RJ's always been in it. There's been a few people who have always been in it, but now it's my fiance and 4 of my bridesmaids. So, like, I try to be sure to surround myself with great people. That's not to say my other bridesmaids aren't also great people. These are just people that I talk to most often. I would say that the rest of my bridesmaids I still talk to, like, they're probably all tied for 6th place at that point, kind of thing. Again, not a level of who I'm better friends with or what. It's just how often I talk to people. Really, that's the only thing. A lot of them are at the same spot, though. But your circle of 5, again, that's important. Sit down, think about it. Someone that was on my list of circle of 5 last year got erased because I don't talk to them anymore, because I found out that I didn't want them to be in my life anymore. So if you're going to do a circle of 5, do it in pencil, because it could very well change. But then my top right quadrant is life goals. So my life goals last year, I only had 2. And it was to profit enough from art and content creation to pay my bills, and to travel. And now I should preface this before I go into these goals that there's 4 or 5 different important things. I made a list in my head earlier. I don't remember. But there's 4 or 5 very important things that you want to remember when you are setting goals for a month, a year, whatever. The first is to make sure it is measurable. You may have a goal of hitting Twitch partner, but if you just say, I want to hit Twitch partner, that's not measurable. You want to have a goal of, I want to get an average viewership of 20 viewers. That's not Twitch partner, but that's measurable. And that's something that is also sort of in your control. You don't want to have goals of things that are out of your control. And that's the other part. Number 2 for setting goals is to make sure that it's realistic. You could have a goal of going to the moon, but chances are you won't be able to do that in 1 year. But you can make it a goal of yours to study astrology, or maybe not even astrology, or astronomy. You could become an astronaut. I don't know what the technical term, you guys know what I'm talking about. But that will take multiple years. So you can also break that down into, I want to get a 4.0 this semester in astronomy. That's the word I wanted. Not astrology, astronomy. Or engineering, whatever it'll be. You know, there's smaller goals along the way of going to the moon, kind of thing. Things that are measurable, things that are in your control. So 1, have it be something measurable. 2, have it be something realistic. It's great to dream big, but there's steps that you have to get to that big dream. So what are your goals to get those steps along the way? 3, well, oh my god, again, I'm going to have to remember the things that I thought of earlier. Keep it precise. So I have the 4 quadrants, and I have 1 to 3 goals for each of my parts, other than the circle of 5. Because if you spread yourself too thin and it's not precise, you're not going to be focused enough on what is truly important for you to hit that goal. I can never remember the difference between astronomy and astrology. I just remember one is a white girl, one and the other is a science. Yeah, literally that's what just happened to me. Astronomy. But you want it to be measurable, you want it to be realistic, and you want it to be precise and focused. Hi.
Hi. Sorry if I'm...
Are you coming for more snacks?
I don't know why else I'd be here.
I had a charcuterie board out for my friends earlier, and now I have it in here. So, John says hi.
Hey, what up, John? How's it going?
Like I said, there's more cheese, so you can take whatever's there.
Sorry, I'm interrupting things, guys.
Oh, that's okay. No one's mad. You take your snacks. We polished off all the juice, though.
What a shame.
There's more crackers in the kitchen, too. Weird that I only came back when RJ is here, but hi. Beck says hi.
Oh, Beck. Oh, what?
Careful. Playing Lethal Company with Sable? Nice. Did you hear about my constant bullying from Kaylin? Oh, I've heard it in my chat. Is there an update on the bullying from Kaylin? Anyway, to wrap it back up to where I was, you want your goals to be measurable. You want them to be realistic, and you want them to be precise. And there was other ones that I was thinking of, but I can't think of. I had a list of like 5 things. Now I can't think of it. I'm here and listening. If you need me, then just shout and whatnot. Sounds good, Vex. Hi, Jack. But yeah, I've seen you getting bullied from Kaylin, John. Rip. You got demoted from her sub-army. I'm trying to think if there's other things about the goals that I wanted to have. Hi, the dogs are all over me because I have food. But yeah, make it... We'll see if I remember it. Make it measurable. Make it precise. Or make it realistic. Make it precise. We'll just stick with those 3 things right now. That's things that you want to keep in mind when setting these goals. I'm not saying don't dream big. Just keep it realistic. Again, like I said, with going to the moon. What are the steps you need before you go to the moon? Do those first. Anyway. My life goals from 2023, one was to profit enough from art and content creation to pay my bills. I would consider this one 75% of the way there. I'm not going to consider it a failure, but it is not a full-on success yet. That has been my goal the last 2 years, ever since I got fired. Hi, Anari. We haven't gotten to that point yet. However, each year I make more and more money from art and content creation and self-employment stuff. And things are looking up ever since I hit YouTube Partner. I haven't made a ton of money off YouTube Partner, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit as my goals for 2024. But having these different streams of income, I doubled what I made this year in comparison to last year in terms of freelance art. It's still, and then like I've gotten more sponsorships, I've gotten more subs, I have the Patreon now, I have multiple different streams of income that have made it easier for me to like live my life, and my part-time job too. The goal is to not even have to have a part-time job. So, but other thing that I actually didn't have on my goal sheet, but was a goal that I had that was very focused on all the time, was paying off my credit card. I have not been able to pay off my credit card since getting fired. And before I got fired, it was probably at like $3,500. And I think at the worst, it was almost at $4,000 in debt that I was in. Which at that point, it starts to get very difficult to get interest paid off and just catching up on stuff. And after today, I will have $200 left. So it's taken me 3 years, but it's going to be 0 very soon. So that's also very exciting. Because that's also been another reason that I've been trying very hard to make the money that I make so that I can fucking pay that shit off. And so it's taken a long time, but we're about to have it happen. Yeah, that was very... Now you guys also know where a lot of my stress came from, of financial things too. So that was hard, and it's almost at 0. The other reason I haven't paid that last $200 bit is because I know as soon as I do it, something's going to come up and I'm going to have to pay. But I get paid next week, and I still have extra money that I could use to pay it off right now. So I'm just waiting till I get paid so I can have like a little bit of extra padding, and we're going to be golden. It's going to be 0. And that is even after I've paid now for Genesis in full. I've paid for my Airbnb and I've paid for my airfare. All I have left to do when I get there is pay for food and like Ubers and stuff. That's the only thing I'll have left to pay for, which will be expenses while I'm there. But all my homies hate credit card companies, and they're... Yes, Jared. So it's been very exciting to know that I'll be able to pay off my credit card. So like I said, for the goal of profiting enough of being self-employed, we're partway there. I'm not going to consider it a success, and I'm not going to consider it a failure. Hello, Brian. But we're getting there. We're getting there. And every year it gets better. So my hope is that this year is going to be the year that we make enough from all those things that that's all I have to do. Then my other life goal was to travel. That we did not do. However, the reason we didn't do that is because I've also now been saving up all of my money because I'm getting married. So that was a big thing that many of you know that happened this year, is I got engaged. Which was not on my goal list, but like that was still a life goal, and I couldn't have picked when that would happen, kind of thing. So I couldn't be like, this year I'm gonna get engaged, you know. You gotta kind of like wait for that one to happen when the opportune moment arrives. Yes, shout out to RJ. He was just in here getting some cheese and crackers. But that was another big thing that happened this year, and that's part of the reason why I did not travel, is because I've been saving money for a wedding. But the one thing that I'm allowing myself to go to is Genesis. So that's my one travel thing this year. So, no, I did not hit my goal of traveling. However, I'm about to get married, so that's fine with me. So in my bottom left quadrant, and again, if you're doing this exercise, you do not have to do these same things I do. One of your goals can be to like read more books. Maybe it's to cook at home more or something like that. Your labels don't have to be mine. These are just simply what mine are. But I had life goals, and now I have fitness goals. And so some of these I hit, some of them I didn't. And we'll talk about the reasons why. My fitness goals was to complete a 5K. Did that. I actually did 2. John books. Hey, reading can be manga too. But one of my goals was to complete one single 5K, and I completed 2 of them. Another was to complete a half marathon, and I did not do that. And the other one was to lift regularly, again 3 to 5 days a week. Did not do that. Started doing that and was kind of on and off, but I definitely did not do it consistently. So many of you know I've had different injuries that I've dealt with and different health issues I've done with. One is that I had a hormone disorder that I was diagnosed with a year and a half ago, which made it very difficult for me to do like goddamn near anything. Before I was on medication and stuff for it, I remember there'd be like days where I was so exhausted that I like couldn't remember what I did through the day. Like I couldn't keep my eyes open. I couldn't stay awake. And that was from my hormone imbalance fucking me up so hardcore. So now I've been on a medication for a while. It's working well. The other thing that has been a big problem for me is my neck. And I've had issues with my neck for like 5 years now. My neck is very fucked up. I've done a lot of things to get it better. It has gotten better, but it's still not at the point where I could not run a half marathon. And my 5Ks were hard. And because I would get super bad migraines when I would do them. And after one of my 5Ks, I wanted to fucking throw up. It was really bad. And I was just out the entire rest of the day simply from a 5K. And for some people, a 5K is a huge accomplishment. And that's great. I'm not saying that a 5K is not a huge accomplishment. However, I did an Ironman triathlon. So for me to struggle doing a 5K hurts a little bit, because that used to just kind of be an easy run for me. Again, if it's not for you, I'm not saying that's bad, but from where I was to like how I've kind of ended up, I struggled for a long time dealing with knowing that something that used to be easy is now very difficult for me to do. So I did 2 5Ks, but they were really painful. I ended up being in a lot of pain after them, which is why I opted to just not even try to do a half marathon. I was like, if I am struggling to finish a 5K, which is 3 miles, I cannot do a half marathon, which is 13 miles. It's not going to happen. I've done half marathons before, so I know that I am capable of doing them, but I'm still not capable of doing that without being in a massive amount of pain. Now, I have seen chiropractors, I have seen kinesiologists, I've seen massage therapists, I'm seeing a stretch therapist now, and I've seen a neurologist now. I'm on different medications and they help me extremely with my migraines, a lot. This is the most progress I feel like I've made with my neck and migraine issues in a while. Though I still don't want to push it with running. But we'll get into it when I talk about my goals for 2024. That is one of the goals that I have moving forward for fitness, has to do with running again. We'll talk about that. But yeah, moving forward, our goals are going to be a little bit different. And then my last quadrant is social media. Again, this is something that is personal for me. If you're not a content creator, you probably don't care that much about your social media presence. It's kind of my job. So I keep it on my goal list because usually a lot of my life revolves around hitting specific goals on social media. So the past 3 years, I've had a goal of hitting Twitch partner. That has not happened. Does the pain come from running specifically or any exercise? Running and biking sometimes because of the position that I have when I bike on my aero bars. I have a triathlon bike, so I have aero bars where you like lean forward on them. It hurts my neck because my neck muscles after my neck got injured are overworking to hold everything steady. It's your body's natural response. So basically a bunch of those muscles tensed up to hold my neck in place so that it would stop moving because my neck is really fucked up. And it is not releasing them still. 5 years later, they're still overworking, but since it's been 5 years, the muscles that should be supporting my neck and my back are very underdeveloped now. And that's going to be part of our goals for 2024 as well. Yeah, it's been rough. A lot of it came from my Ironman in 2017, and I've told RJ before, if I knew that doing my Ironman was a huge deal to me, do not get me wrong. It was like one of the biggest accomplishments of my entire life. Like, I hold my Ironman and hitting YouTube partner and getting married at like the same degree of success in my life. So like my Ironman was a huge, massive deal to me. If I knew at the time in 2017 that it would cause me the amount of physical pain and repercussions I've had from doing it that I'm still dealing with now, I would not have done it. Knowing how much it meant to me, knowing how much that it like changed my life, if I knew that the outcome would be the pain that I'm having today, I would not have done it. So we're still fixing shit that I had happen to my neck many years ago, unfortunately. But every year there's improvement. So anyway, my other quadrant is social media, and every year my goal has been to hit Twitch partner. And yes, I still want to hit Twitch partner, but like I said earlier with setting goals, you want it to be measurable, you want it to be realistic, and you want it to be precise. And every year I write this down knowing that my goal should be that, and I've never had a measurable statistic to hit other than, oh, I need to have an average viewership of 75 people, however many streamed hours for the month. I know that those are the stats, but I haven't done anything to actively like work towards that. So that's on me. And I'm doing different things this year for my Twitch goals, which will still help me towards Twitch partner. And the goal is still to hit Twitch partner. But that's not, my flat goal isn't just going to be like, oh, I want to hit Twitch partner. I have different specific things that I want to hit now on the way towards that. So it'll be easier to focus on it now, which is why I said it's important to have things that statistics and stuff like that, measurable things that you can focus on to work towards. Like when I was like, I need to hit 3,000 watch hours, I need to hit 4,000 watch hours kind of thing. Those were very specific things that I could work towards other than just saying, I want to hit YouTube partner. Yeah, I haven't done a lot to get an average viewership of 75 viewers on Twitch. So clearly my YouTube, yes, getting the average viewership of 75 viewers is very hard. Very hard. Right now I'm sitting at like 10. I think my average viewership is right around 10. Maybe it's like 9.5. So we're just starting to dip into double digits. We got a long ways to go. But that's why I haven't, seen a huge difference in my Twitch stats over the years is because I haven't done anything to like hardcore focus on what I can actually do to grow my Twitch. However, a lot of that has gone towards YouTube, and as you guys can see from this past stats that I've had, it's made a difference. My YouTube has grown substantially. 0 to almost 3,000 in 2-3 years. So it can depend on the category you're streaming, but like I also did for a while I would stream things that I thought would get me more viewers, and I just ended up having worse streams because I wasn't having fun. Which is why I gave up specifically trying to do things in specific gaming categories and stuff like that. I was like, I'm just going to do whatever I want because I have more fun just playing the games that I like. And it's also helped my average viewership. So what's an important thing is to make sure you're just doing what you enjoy. Don't do it just for the views, which I did for a while. I was doing stuff just because I thought it would do well. And it just wasn't, because I wasn't fully into it, you know? I don't want to say I was faking it, but I was doing it just because I thought it would do well, not because I actually wanted to do it. The second goal that I had for social media, though, was to hit YouTube partner, and we did that. And that is because I had specific goals along the way. I didn't write them down, but without realizing, I had specific goals along the way that I had to hit. 1,000 watch hours, 2,000 watch hours, 3,000 watch hours, 4,000 watch hours. There are specific goals that I could share and that people were inspired by that helped make that happen. Had I not shared almost every single day my update on watch hours, we wouldn't have hit it. If you guys didn't see me constantly tweeting and constantly posting about where I was at, people wouldn't be turning my playlists on to give me watch hours. That's another important thing about your goals is you don't have to share them, but sharing your goals is going to get other people excited to help you get to them. There's some goals that you might set for yourself that are very personal. Like I said, a lot of my fitness goals are something that's very personal, but my social media goals depend on other people being inspired and wanting to know about my goals, which is why I share my YouTube stuff all the time. I didn't care if it pissed people off that I was constantly talking about my watch hours. Because I constantly talked about them, I hit them. If I didn't talk about them, I would not have hit them. 100%, because so many of you, so many people that I knew years ago that I haven't spoken to would randomly message me and say, hey, congrats on your YouTube stuff. I've been running your playlists. Keep doing what you're doing. Haven't talked to them in years. But because I always posted about it, they wanted to help. So, for some of your goals, share the fuck out of them. And it doesn't matter if it makes people mad, because if it makes them mad, then they don't actually care about what makes you happiest. So fuck them. Like, I'm gonna keep sharing all of my goals for stuff that I do because they're important to me. And if they're important to me, they'll be important to the people around you that matter the most. The third goal that I had set for my social media was to do anime music. At the beginning of this year, I started doing that. I had sheet music. I had a voice coach. I was getting ready to start recording stuff. I got my microphone settings redone, and things just kind of fell off because I used to work at a music school and I ended up quitting that job. And so I didn't have a place to record anymore. I didn't have a voice coach anymore. I didn't, it just kind of fell off. So that's still something that I want to do, but other things happened that it just ended up not working out. So hopefully, I don't have it on my goal list this year to do music. That is still something I want to do in the back of my mind. And maybe that'll just go along with my YouTube goals anyway. But eventually, I hope I can do cover music for anime songs and maybe other songs too. You guys, know that I have a sing thing on stream. So we didn't get that one done, but that's okay. Life happens. The fourth and final goal I had for the year that was under social media was to do more cooking streams and meal prepping. So I feel like I did do some more cooking streams than I did in the past. I still don't do a ton. It kind of takes a lot to set them up, but I've gotten, I have a cart now. I have a cooking stream cart. It's like a little mini cart. And I have different things to set up that make my cooking streams easier now. So I feel like I still did do more cooking streams, and I had fun with them. And then meal prepping, I definitely did a lot more meal prepping this year. Some of that, I didn't record all of it, so I wouldn't say that I hit that as a goal of doing social media stuff, but just in general, did a lot more meal prepping. Every week, I usually make a list of meals that RJ and I are going to have for the week, and then our grocery list is based off the meals that I have planned for the week. This is also a habit that has been pretty easy for me to do because I enjoy cooking. So, you know, maybe that's a goal for you or for anyone this year if you want to cook more. You know, you could say, I want to, Loki may be my goal. Maybe one of your goals this year is to cook more, but you don't like cooking, but you want to meal prep more because it saves money and it's healthier and stuff like that. You can just make it a goal to cook, you know, 1 meal a week at home. I should sit down and make goals. That's kind of why we're doing this. So if you want to do it while we're talking, you can. Otherwise, I will have a video coming out that you'll be able to follow along with the video and do it as well, because I did it earlier today. I have to edit the video, though, but it shouldn't take me too long to edit, so hopefully that'll be out tomorrow. But I did do more meal prepping, and again, I find enjoyment in it, so that wasn't very hard for me to do. Hell yeah, John and Vex. Let's fucking go! And I also got into canning this year. So I have a water bath canner and I have a pressure canner. Damn, Zahir. Sheesh. And again, that's something that I enjoy. So those are my goals for 2023. I would say we hit about 50% of them. So in 2021, I hit like every goal I set for myself. In 2022, I hit almost no goals that I set for myself. And in 2023, I hit about 50% of them. So you'll win some, you'll lose some. If you had goals you set last year and you didn't hit them, it's okay. If you had goals you set last year and you hit them, fucking let's go. You know, don't take anything too seriously. Obviously, things are important to you. If you're setting them as your goals, they're important. But, like, the time is going to pass anyway. So if it takes you longer to hit your goal than you wanted to, it's okay. The time is going to keep passing. Never be daunted by a goal that's going to take you a long time to reach, because the time will just keep passing anyway. Whether you start today or you start in a year, that's a year of progress you could have made. And if you look back on my stats, a lot can happen in a year. Because this Sunday is my birthday. What? I can't thank this goon enough. I love John. Aw. Cute. But yeah, so now let's talk about the goals we have for 2024. So my circle of 5 is still about the same. And I still have the same quadrant set up of life goals, fitness goals, and social media. Again, if you want to sit down and do something like this, you don't have to do all 4 of these things. You don't have to do the circle of 5, life goals, fitness goals, social media. You can do 2 of them. You can do 1 of them. Doesn't matter. These are just things that I have that are my goals. You can use them as an example, but you do not have to copy paste. But circle of 5, again, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so make sure whoever you're talking to most often is good people. My life goals. First one, get married. So our wedding is set to be in September. Many of you are invited and plan to go. I'm hoping that'll be a very easy thing to check off my goal list. But that is one of my life goals, is to get married for next year. Be there or be square. The second goal, which has been a goal for a while actually, is to go to Japan. So in 2020, RJ and I were supposed to go to Japan in early spring. And as many of you know, the world kind of went to shit in 2020. So we had a whole trip planned and we had to cancel all of it. Fucking sucked. Our goal now is to go to Japan for a honeymoon. Unfortunately, it's a lot more expensive now than it was back in 2020. But we are making plans. And part of our wedding registry is stuff for a honeymoon. So, second life goal for 2024. Yeah, fuck COVID. Hell froze over on 20... Man. What a fucking time. But 4 years later, we're going to finally get to go. So, second life goal, 2024, is to go to Japan. First and the second goals kind of tie together. One is to get married, and the other one is my honeymoon. So, we'll see how that goes. Third life goal, that has been the life goal for the last multiple years, and that is to make enough money to be fully self-employed. Now, I said you want to make sure your goals are measurable. I'm not going to share that number, but I know what it is up here. So, I know what that number I need to hit is. I have different goals set in mind for breakdowns of each category. You'll hear one of them. But that's just something that I feel is kind of weird to share, because cost of living is different everywhere and everyone has different ideas of what they need to survive and whatever not. So I'm not going to share it, just not because I feel like I need to keep it a secret, but it's just different for everyone. So everyone's situation is different, and I don't want anyone to base their goal off of what might be necessary for me. So, but again, I know that number and I know the statistic for it, so that's the measurable part. I'm just not going to say it out loud. But those are my life goals. Hope you're going to get married because we're going to support you. Thank you. I got the ring already, so all we have to do now is actually, like, get married. My second quadrant, or I shouldn't say my second quadrant, my second section, which is my third quadrant, is fitness goals. So I've really fallen on my fitness goals the past few years, but I've also been putting a ton of effort into YouTube, and now we have hit that big goal of hitting YouTube partner. So now I feel so much less stressed about making YouTube. I was so stressed all the time about hitting certain watch hours because I didn't want them to expire. We're there now, and I'm so much less stressed about it. Ooh, that's a good one, John. Doing yoga. But now I feel like I'll have a little bit more life freedom to explore some more fitness goals again. And the first one, so every year I feel like I set a big grandiose goal for myself to do some big distance or do something crazy, where for many years I wanted to do my second Ironman, and then I was like, okay, I'll do a marathon, and then I was like, okay, I'll do a half marathon, and every year I've had to like bonk it down because of my migraines and the stuff that I've had issues with. So now I would love to do my second Ironman. Not a goal for next year. It's not going to be possible. Maybe in a few years. Not 2024 though. My fitness goal is to run 1 mile without pain. You can do a half Ironman, though that is not a goal of mine. RJ was supposed to do a half Ironman with me while I did my second full one, but again, things just didn't happen because of health issues and injuries, unfortunately. But a half Ironman is, what is it? It's a 1.2 mile swim, a 56 mile bike, and then a 13 mile run. But yes, the goal this year is to run 1 mile without pain. Now, what is the measurable part about this? Pain has different meanings. So obviously I might have soreness or pain that one gets when you exercise. My legs might get sore, my knees might get sore. That's not what I'm meaning. I'm talking about my neck. I want to be able to run 1 mile without my shoulders getting tense, without my neck tensing up, and without getting a migraine. If I can do that, and I can do that continuously through the year, like more than once, I want to be able to do that numerous times, I will consider that a success. Because right now, I can run a half mile, and I will be in pain the entire rest of the day. I can lay down, take a nap for 3 hours, wake up, and still be in pain. It used to be I could lay down, take an hour nap, and my neck would stop hurting. But now it'll last sometimes 2 days. It'll last 48 hours now before my migraine goes away. So, running a mile without getting a migraine or neck or shoulder tension. That is the goal. The second one is to start rock climbing again. This actually kind of ties into what I was talking about earlier. So, the third one, I'll actually kind of talk about this all together in one, is to start physical therapy. So my neurologist told me that I should start physical therapy, and I've been very bad about calling and getting it scheduled. I don't know why. I've just been procrastinating it so hard, and I need to get it done. So starting PT! But then also rock climbing. So the rock climbing I do is bouldering, which is rock climbing without a harness or a belay rope system. It's just rock climbing with nothing, basically. You don't climb as high because you can fall. You don't climb up as high, but it's a lot more upper body and grip strength kind of stuff and core strength. The reason this ties in with my PT is because when I used to rock climb, it helped my neck a lot because it would work those supporting muscles that I said earlier are weaker now. So it worked those supporting muscles that my neck needs to work on to help support it properly to let the other muscles stop being so tense all the time. So again, the rock climbing and the PT kind of go together, which also kind of ties into being able to run 1 mile without pain. I'm also afraid of heights, but like I said, bouldering is not that high. You don't climb that high. And if I ever get to a point that I feel like I'm uncomfortable with how high I am, I just don't finish the climb. I just climb back down. And a lot of rock climbing gyms will have easy climbs to get down. Like they'll have an easy route to exit that's different than like the actual rock climbing route. So you can easily drop down. But I would say bouldering, I usually don't climb above like 15 feet off the ground. And there's like crash pads and stuff beneath you. If I get above that, I usually dip out. I usually don't go any higher. One, because I'm afraid of heights. Two, because I'm afraid of falling and hurting my neck. Because my neck has been fucked, as you guys have heard, for like 5 years. But all of that, like I said, kind of ties in together, because rock climbing helps work those muscles that I need to work to strengthen them and get them to be better supporting muscles again. That's also part of PT, is helping to relax those muscles that are tense and overworking and start working on those other supporting muscles so that when I run, and I'll probably have to completely change my running form in PT, I don't scrunch my shoulders and I don't hold my neck the wrong way, which I do so unconsciously. The last time I went for a run, I went for a mile and I didn't get a headache. However, it was kind of like a walk jog. I would like run a little bit and then like walk. So it wasn't a full straight on run. But I had to very physically and mentally be incredibly aware of like my whole body. I had to make sure that I was tensing my core in my lower hips the right way, and that I was pulling my shoulders down and back, and that I was holding up my head properly and using like the proper, I had to like be so aware of every part of my body to make it so that I didn't have a headache. And it worked. But now the goal is to be able to do that, you know, automatically, as one should when they're running. I shouldn't have to like focus so hard on those things just to not get a headache kind of thing. So that will all kind of tie together. Last quadrant is social media. So the first goal, now that we've hit YouTube partner, and like I said, this is going to kind of tie in with making enough money being self-employed. The goal is to make $2,000 on YouTube this year. In the whole year. So that, again, that's not enough for me to live off of, but it's a new revenue stream, and my other revenue streams have grown every single year, that when it all adds up, we're very close to making the amount of money that I can live off of, fully supported by myself, being fully self-employed. So far I've made about $20, and it's been almost 3 full weeks of being monetized. So I make right now on average about $1 a day. If we look at my statistics from the past and how things have grown, that will increase. So it'll be more than $1 a day by the end of next year. Most likely. I can't guarantee that, but most likely that's what will happen by the end of the year. So the goal is to make $2,000 off of YouTube this year. Again, measurable, realistic, precise. It's not, I want to make enough money on YouTube that I can quit my job. It is, I want to make $2,000 on YouTube. $2,000 over the course of a whole year, though, is not a lot. Over 12 months, if that was my only income, that is not enough. But like I said, so far I've made about $20. So I don't think it's impossible. I think we can get there. The other one, again, every year I've had a goal of hitting Twitch Partner, but I've never done anything like measurable or anything with it. So the end goal is to still hit Twitch Partner someday. However, this year, the goal is to get to 1,250 followers on Twitch. We are currently sitting at 764. Oh, we hit the goal of 750. Haha, I could change that to 1,000 now. I totally like missed that happened. So I'll have to change that down here. But the goal is to hit 1,250 Twitch followers and then have an average viewership of 20 people. Like I said, right now we're sitting at about 10. I'll have to go into my statistics on Twitch and see. It might actually be like 9.5 or something. But those are the more precise goals I have for Twitch, instead of just having a flat, I want to hit Twitch Partner. Actual goals that I can like look at and like know and understand and have at least some control over. Obviously, I can't just be like, I'm gonna hit 1,000 followers and it's just gonna happen. Like, but it's a lot more precise and direct than just, I want to hit Twitch Partner, if you guys get what I'm saying. So again, I would love to show you what this looks like, but my light is so fucking bright that it's not gonna... Maybe if I just turn the brightness way fucking down for a minute. No, it's still just really fucking white. That's cool. So I'd love to show you guys what this looks like, but it's not gonna let me, unfortunately. Can I do it like way back here? Oh, you could kind of see it there. You could kind of see it when I tilt it way down, but you can see that I have like the 4 sections in the top just as the goals for the year, and I have all my other ones too. But yeah, we hit about half of our goals last year. Oh, for each category, if you do multiple categories, keep each one. This is part of like the precision 1 to 3 goals for each section. There was a year that I had like 5 in each section, and that's just too much. That you're spreading yourself too thin. You're not going to be able to actually focus on the things that are actually important. 1 to 3 things for each thing. Because if you do too many, you're not going to be able to focus on what's actually, truly, really important to you to hitting these goals. So again, I have 3 in each section right now. Last year I had 2, 3, and then 4, which 4 is still a little bit much, but you know, whatever. I only had 2 in the other one. So, but for each piece now I have 3 for each of them. They are measurable, they are realistic, and they are focused and precise. Those are the things that you want to make sure that you fully focus on for making these goals. So if you guys want help making these goals, or you want to share them with me, you can DM me, you could put them in the Discord, you can send it on Twitter or whatever the heck you want to do. I would love to hear your goals. Or if you want help making a goal sheet, I would love to hear it. But that's all I have for you guys. So if you have questions, absolutely shoot questions at me. If they're fitness related, life goal related, social media related, whatever the fuck, you can absolutely shoot them my way. If you have goals that you want to share in chat, feel free. I know Kate said one of her goals for the podcast is to, we're at like 220 downloads right now, and she said, oh, I hope we hit 500 by next year. And I was like, you could probably hit 700 by next year if we've been doing it since September and we're already at 220. So her goal is to get more downloads for the podcast. I don't know if it's 500 or if she's going to up it, because like I said, we're already at 220. But yeah, I know that's one of her goals for next year. John, you said you wanted to start yoga. That's a great goal. If you want to be even more precise with it, you can choose, you know, I want to do yoga once a week in the first quarter of the year. But by the end of the year, I want to be doing yoga every day, you know, or 5 days a week kind of thing. I would pick a specific number that you want to hit. Or maybe it's, I want to do yoga, you know, twice a week for 30 minutes. But then at the end of the year, you want to do it 5 days a week for an hour. Get more precise with it. And again, be realistic with it, because that's going to help you hit it. Because the last few years I've been like, I just want to, you know, go to the gym more. That's just not precise enough. Though last year I did say I wanted to start going to the gym 3 to 5 days a week again. I still didn't hit it. Because again, I kept getting headaches. Short King here. I mean, only if John truly cares about that. So it's great to say that you want to do something, but if you're doing it because you feel like you have to, not because you actually want to, you're not as likely to hit that goal. So if John truly wants that, we can talk about the things that can help make that happen. But if you're not truly wanting that, then it doesn't really matter, because you're not going to focus on it. You doing Special Olympics? Nice. So John, if you really want a girlfriend, there's things we can talk about that you can like help you get towards that goal, that are like not memeing. Maybe it's, you know, downloading a dating app, or going out once a week to try and meet people, or doing better, trying to get better at talking to people. What are things that you can do to practice that kind of stuff? There's genuine things that we can talk about if that is a true goal. But if it's not, then don't fucking worry about it. Hi, dogs. Oh, I thought RJ took all of the pastrami, but he didn't. Fuck yeah, let's go. My dinner tonight has just been cheese and crackers and meat. Does anyone else have anything they want to share in chat of goals for the year? I would love to hear them. I'm gonna shove this whole thing in my mouth. One second, John. Now I have food in my mouth. Hey, that's on my goal list Tuesday here, is to get married. We're partway there. So, John, if getting a girlfriend is something that you do genuinely want as a goal, like not just memeing, there are things we can talk about that can help make that happen that are real, genuine things. But if it's not a genuine goal, then, it doesn't matter. If you're just memeing, then fuck it. But if that is something you genuinely do want, we talk about that. Okay, so you do. So, maybe your goal is to go to some sort of social event once a week. It's not a goal, but I wouldn't mind it. Okay. Maybe your goal is to go to at least one social event once a week. Bring a friend, bring a family member, whatever it is. Maybe it's going to watch a game, going to the bar, going to some sort of local event, to go and practice talking to and being around people. Family member, fuck no. That is a goal that you can have, is to just be more social. Because when you're more social, you'll meet more people kind of naturally. And then you can also just practice talking to people. That can be a goal you can set, is to go to something once a week, once a month, something of that sort. Going to something every week might get expensive depending on what you're doing. But your goal can be, once a month, I'm going to go to this basketball game. Or I'm going to go, like I said, to the bars for this. A lot of bars will host, like, what is the word I'm thinking of? Basically game nights. They'll host, like, trivia nights. That's what I wanted. Or like you said, yoga. You want to start doing yoga. You can make it that your goal to go to that class. You'll start meeting friends there. Maybe not even romantic, but again, you're just widening your social circle, which is going to help you meet more people eventually. Next time I get a layover in NYC, we'll go out and rizz 'em up. Hell yeah! But, taking a class doesn't have to be school. It can be yoga. Or maybe another fitness class. But yeah, you can set goals that are like I said, going to a social event once a week. Or another goal you can set is genuinely setting up a dating app. It doesn't have to be fucking Tinder. There's other apps that you can use. And again, these all don't have to be things to directly get you a girlfriend like that. But they can be things that help you practice talking to people. Because then when you meet the right person, you won't fumble, kind of thing. Yep, pottery, painting. A lot of places do that. Practicing basketball for Special Olympics. Ah, nice. Proud of you. I hope you're enjoying it. There's a lot you can probably do in New York, John. There's probably shitloads of events you can do. Maybe it's even seeing a small band. Like I said, a lot of bars will have a trivia night. There's a lot of bars that also have non-alcoholic options. That's the other thing, is like, if it gets expensive, don't worry about it. But there's lots of other events that you can do that are usually free. You can go to free art shows and art galleries. And I know New York has art galleries out the ass. My other goal is to be employed. There you go. So what's a measurable thing that you can do with that? Maybe that's applying to a new job, once a day. Finding one new job that you can apply to each day. Maybe it's updating your resume and cover letter kind of stuff. Different things like that. Maybe it's getting a certificate or taking an online course for something. Different things that you can measurably do, that you can look at. Do I look like an art person? Hey, you can go to a museum and enjoy what you see without being educated in the things behind it. I love calling you anime. Thank you. You can call me anime. You can put me down for a reference anytime. I'll be whatever former manager, boss, coworker you need me to be. But yeah, there's different measurable things that you can do, John, that simply widen your social circle, which is going to help you meet someone. So maybe it's not getting a girlfriend this year, but it could just be being more social this year. And I'm not saying you're antisocial or anything like that. Because I'm definitely really fucking antisocial now. But I don't really mind because I'm pretty tied down at this point. So, oh, buddy, I also have a resting bitch face. But RJ still liked that face when he met me, so that's okay. It's okay if you have a resting bitch face. I absolutely do. I'll be honest, the thing that I'm not saying that this is what you have to do, John. But when I first moved to the Twin Cities, I didn't know anyone here. I felt very alone for a very long time. And what helped me meet a lot of people, and a lot of my friends that I know now, is modeling, which I did not expect to happen. So many of you know I model just kind of like for funsies on the side. But a lot of people that are my friends now I've met through photographers and through other models, which is kind of crazy. I never expected that to be the thing that got me to meet people, but it was. And now I know a lot more people in the Twin Cities, and I go to events with them. I host parties. I had my soup party, and a lot of people are people that I met through modeling. Yeah, you can go to other museums that also are just not art museums. You can go to a sports museum. There's car museums. There's different stuff that you can do. Can I try to smile more in Japan? Do you plan on going to a social event, anime seat? There you go. You can meet a lot of people there. So that's a very expensive one, but you can make it a goal. Like I said, maybe go to an event once a week, once a month, once every quarter, which would be like once every 3 months. And they don't have to be expensive. See, Zahir got resting bitch face too. He got the bag. So much so to the point that when I locked in on Legends, my friend said I have such a serious face. It happens. I got really like downward tilted eyebrows, and it used to be extra hardcore. So yeah, we got that resting bitch face going. I used to be told that people would be afraid to approach me. I don't think that's so much so anymore, now that people know more about me and my personality. But I used to have a lot of people tell me that they were afraid to talk to me. They're like, wow, when I first saw you, I thought you'd be really mean and you seemed like a bitch, but you're really nice. I was like, thanks, it's just my face. Unless that I was mad at my fiance from my face. I had a lot of places that I met friends in college was actually at the gym. I met a lot of friends through the gym, and a lot of them told me that they thought I seemed really mean. And I was like, no, that was just my gym face. I'm sorry. I promise I'm a nice person as long as you're nice to me. If you're not nice to me, I'm not gonna be nice to you. That's okay, you don't have to say cuss words. We say them here, but that doesn't mean you're required to say them. But yeah. Does anyone else have any other goals they wish to share for 2024? Or have questions about stuff? I feel like I went pretty in depth with a lot of things. Oh, my watch just died. In terms of what goals I set, why I set them, why I did or didn't hit them. And again, if you missed the first half of this, I'll have a YouTube video out tomorrow that I recorded earlier today where I went through and did this stuff. More cheese. Otherwise, we might just call it a short stream there. I know yesterday I said I wanted to stream more, but we also started late tonight. Crackers. A goal I had last year was to be one of the top Stardew streamers, because in my Twitch recap, it told me that I was the top 1% of Stardew streamers. They didn't have a stat like this year, so I don't know if I am or not. I'm going to assume I am. Because I was last year, and I played way more fucking Stardew this year than I did last year. So there's no way that I'm not in the top 1% of Stardew streamers. Stream that game all the fucking time. That's a good one, John. That's a good one. I do like doing collabs. That's not a bad goal. Do collabs once a month. That's a good idea. This is why we keep you around, John. You'd be a good content manager. But yeah, once a month with like Tystra, Lifrim, Vextasy, anyone. I do like to manage stuff. My goal is to speak in VC. Hey! There you go. That's a good goal to have. I'll be waiting for you, bestie. I think he means like, or maybe you don't, maybe you're just memeing, but like live on stream, not just with your friends. I'll give a shout out to RJ. Hell yeah. He's probably lurking in the background since he's one of my mods. But yeah, more collabs would be fun. I do want to get Lethal Company. I think that'd be fun. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Maybe I can add that as like a game that you can vote for. Please. For community night. I would be so down for Lethal Company tomorrow. Maybe we'll just like say we're gonna do Lethal Company tomorrow. I won't know what the fuck I'm doing, so I'm gonna just fuck around. Oh well. I'm also watching my sprinkler. Because as you guys know, when that goes off, it's just enough to give us a power surge so that we lose power. And it says it's supposed to go off in an hour. Usually goes off around 10:30, which is 30 minutes from now. What a way to end 2023, getting scared out of my mind playing Lethal Company. Oh well. It's better than, what was that game I played with Kaylin? Mortuary Assistant? That was goddamn awful. 0 sprinkler incidents in 2024? Yeah. If we end up going later, I'm going to turn it off so that it doesn't go off at 10:30. Yeah, it's not expensive, so I can definitely go easily buy it. I'll also be sure to let y'all know when I hit that goal of fully paying off my credit card, because it's going to be soon. Like I said, I could fully pay it off right now. The only reason I'm not is I just want to wait for a paycheck to come in, just to be sure we Gucci. And I have mortgage to pay. Also, is Kaylin live right now? I know she's usually live on Thursdays. Maybe we'll just go raid her. She do be live. Look at that, my girl. I can't say it here. Does it have to do with your future wife? And the no pants dance? I had a cracker in my hair. Had a feeling. I read you like a fucking booksy here. I think that's a reasonable goal to have, though. She's gonna be your wife. That's not weird to say. I have other goals. I want to do more canning. Use my pressure canner more. But those are things that are like, you know, I just have to do it. 1 hour! Zahir, are you inhuman? Do you understand how long the average dude does? That's a long time. Hi, Spence. Oh, I think that a major topic of the podcast tonight is what you and me have been talking about, Spence, and that is Joe Plow. Yeah, honestly though, Vex gets it, so does Jared. That's a long time. That is a long time to be doing the deed. I'd fall asleep. Joe Plow, yes. So if you guys listen to the podcast, it is the Unhinged podcast. I believe if you do the command podcast, he do got that dog in him. I did not look. My friend did. But what she said is he definitely got that dog in him. But there is the podcast. Yeah, I didn't want to look. I was told, did not look. I know the man personally. I didn't want to see it. I did not want to see. Anyway, that'll be a new podcast episode coming out, so you should listen to the podcast. What are some other things that I want to do in 2024? I have to find a new swimsuit. This is going to sound weird. Have have to find a new swimsuit because my wedding dress is strapless and it's got a deep V. So I need to find something I can wear in the summer that will give me tan lines that like blend in. And I've been trying to find a swimsuit that has a V but is strapless, so that's gonna be rough. I might even actually have to start like going to a tanning bed. Zahir, these are unrealistic. True realism is once a week. Another goal I might have is to read more. The book I've been reading is as a web novel, Under the Oak Tree. I do not want to be braless. This man is in for a rude awakening to married life. That's a commitment, Zahir. Both mentally and physically. But I do want to read more. I'm caught up on the book that I'm reading of Under the Oak Tree. And I want to find more fantasy novels to read. In the past, I've tried to get back into reading, and I just, like, cannot find anything that keeps my interest long enough. But when I read fantasy novels, I can read that shit for hours. So I think another goal is to just find more books that I actually genuinely enjoy, and that is going to be more fantasy. So stuff that's like, you know, princesses, knights, elves, castles, stuff like that. Told her if she taps out first, she has to unhook a live fish! Bro, that shit sucks though. I hate unhooking fish. I have a special glove for like perch and stuff that have really spiny backs. The Fourth Wing. Is that a book? Blue Kuko plushie? Oh! This one that's like... I'm trying to point like a weatherman. Like right over here. That is a blue chicken from Stardew Valley. So blue chickens are like the thing that happens when you get enough relationship points with Shane in Stardew. And Shane is my favorite. So, it's a blue it's a blue chicken. The Kuko, no, it's not from Zelda. It's from Stardew. I don't read personally, but I just flew with a guy who wouldn't shut up about the book. The Fourth Wing. I'm gonna write that down. Part of me wants to read Lord of the Rings. My dad has read it. He said there's some parts of it where the Tolkien just kind of goes off about like the landscape, and it'll just be like pages and pages describing the landscape, and that it gets really boring in that sense. So I don't know if I would like the Lord of the Rings books or not, but I think I might want to try to attempt reading them. I've never read Harry Potter. I almost read all of Aragon in high school. So there was a series I really liked for a long time that was called The Books of Bayern, and I might look into like actually reading those again. It's been a long time since I've read them, and I would not mind rereading them. But it was the same thing. It was like this girl is a princess, but she gets banished from her land for something, so she has to try and blend in somewhere else. She has to like dye her hair so she looks like the locals and like do all this other stuff. It's very interesting, and it also involves like magic and elements and stuff like that. So I live for that shit. I love that. So I might look into that, but I'll look into that one that you just said, Jared. Fourth Wings. I used to love the Percy Jackson series. Loved the Percy Jackson series. And I tried to read another series by Rick Riordan that was like Egyptian mythology. I couldn't quite get into it as much. There was another fantasy novel that I read for a while that was being written in high school. So there's only like 2 books out, and I read them both, and I was waiting for the third one to release. But it was like the Klaatu Discos, so I might have to look into that one again. Bulls lost the basketball game. Do you have a fantasy basketball team? RJ has a fantasy basketball team. It's funny to think that someone had to find Joe's vids. I know! That was one of the things that I read in an article. Did you see... I'll have to send you the post from... Oh, what is it? There's a really funny post that some business in town wrote. But it was like, who is the person who went to polish the bishop and was just scrolling the hub and happened to find a video and said, yo, is that Joe? Who was the snitch? Who found these videos? Because it had to be someone at the university. Who did it? Who found them? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's been doing it for a while. Also, I looked at some of his I didn't watch his content. He has a YouTube page. I looked at that. That is not explicit. Ooh. Just hit a key. He had like 1.7 views on a video this morning, and now it's almost at 10K. So here, you found the link yourself last night. I'm not gonna link it to you. But apparently his OnlyFans and all of his channels have been growing. Thank you for the follow, Nugget. Welcome in. I have to go update my stream elements to have the goal set to 1,000 now since we've hit 750. Wasn't trying to hide anything, kind of lucked out. Yeah, honestly. That's kind of crazy that it just happened now, because it's not like he just started doing it. I watch fantasy basketball, but I'm a part-time watch basketball game. The Chicago Bulls play on TV, and I think we're going against the New York Knicks on TV. I don't fully keep up with sports ball, but as far as sports go, I do watch the Packers. That's about it, though. I don't pay attention to anything else. Alright, timer goals. We're gonna update that. Follower goal. Settings. Set goal. 1,000. Save. Oh, it already updated. Hell yeah, let's go. Also, I'm pretty sure RJ said when I hit 1,000 followers, I get to do his makeup, so... So I bought Kaylin Lethal Company, so... Oh yes, let's go! Lethal Company tomorrow! We'll just do that. We'll do a little bit of words on stream, and then we'll just go right into Lethal Company. I'll just at everyone. Tomorrow's community night. We're playing Lethal Company. Also, I didn't think I was going to be able to do community night at first because my family Christmas is this weekend, but we're not leaving till Saturday morning, so I will actually be able to do community night tomorrow night, so that's cool. We're going to end 2023 on that for streaming, because then I'll be gone again. So we're doing Lethal Company tomorrow. Oh, she messaged me on her Twitch. Oh, she gave me a shout out. Thanks, homegirl. Wham bam. She live right now. Do we want to raid her right now? Because my sprinkler's going to go off soon, and once that happens, if I'm streaming while that happens, I'm just going to lose power. So I say we just raid into Kaylin right now. I know a lot of you are probably already there. Oh, she just raided someone. Oh, rip. I was just about to raid her. Never mind. So I have my little sprinkler system for my plants back there. And me streaming with my lights on, and then my sunlights on that, when those sprinklers go off, they're set on a timer, is just enough of a power surge that it makes us lose power to half our house. Also when RJ's gaming too. If they go off and RJ's not streaming or playing anything, I don't lose power. But if both of us are gaming, and I have my lights on, and I'm streaming, and I'm gaming, and I have those sunlights on and stuff, it's just enough of a power surge that we blow a fuse. It's happened 4 times. So, and it's gonna go off soon. Legally can't get mad. We can raid Iron Cane. That is a thing that we can do. He's got 144 viewers? Bruh. Bruh has grown so substantially. I'm proud of him. He's doing Dragon Ball Breakers. Who could have guessed? He has been putting in the work, which it shows. So we're gonna raid him. Let me get the raid message. There's the raid message. Feel free to copy and paste it. We're gonna raid into Iron Cane. We're gonna see how he's going. But thank you all for being here. Tomorrow night we're gonna do some Lethal Company. Iron Goat. Have a good night, everyone.